In this lecture, we are going to discuss the difference between the scarlet fever and the rheumatic fever. So, before discussing, you have to know that these two types of the fever caused by the Streptococcus pyogenes. So, first of all, we will look at the basic nature of the rheumatic fever and the scarlet fever. So, in the scarlet fever, nature will be acute and toxin-mediated illness. It means that scarlet fever is basically caused by the toxin produced by the Streptococcus pyogenes, while the rheumatic fever, this will be the post-streptococcal, means it will be presented after the streptococcus infections, and it will be the immune mediated, like immune system will activate and it will cause the rheumatic fever in that case. So cause will be, that will be the pyrogenic exotoxins that will be produced by the streptococcus pyogenes, while the rheumatic fever, this will be the immune response that will produce after the strep infections, like the after the strep throat infection. So that is the important thing. And the timing, scarlet fever, you will see during the acute infections within 1 to 3 days of infections, while rheumatic fever, you will see after strep pharyngitis throat infections, and it will produce after the after throat infection, and that will be 2 to 4 weeks. Clinical manifestation in the scarlet fever, you will see fever, patient is presenting with fever, sore throat, sandpaper like rash. That is the important thing in the scarlet fever. Strawberry tongue will also be seen. So these are the four major clinical manifestation in the scarlet fever. And in the rheumatic fever, you will see the carditis, you will see the migratory polyarthritis. In that case, you will see the pain in one joint and it will migrate to the other multiple joints. One previous one will there will be the no pain in the previous joint, but the next it will move from joint to joint, pain will move from joint to joint. So that will be the migratory polyarthritis. Sedinum chorea, that will be the involuntary jerky movements of the hands, face, and the feet. So that will be the sedinum chorea in that case. You can also see the erythema marginatum. You will see the margin like rash on the body. You can also see the subcutaneous nodule. So these are the different manifestations. We called it Jones criteria. In that case, you will see the involvement of the heart, that will be the carditis, and most importantly, mitral valve will be involved in that case. Joint will also be involved, that will be the migratory polyarthritis, and brain, sedinum chorea, and at the last, you will see the skin manifestations. So, what type of rash? Difference with clinical manifestations, we can differentiate the scarlet from the rheumatic on the basis of the rash. So, in the scarlet fever, rash will be diffuse erythematous, means reddishness, and heat will be produced in that case. Sandpaper like rash, and it will start on the chest and it will move to the body and the other extremities. And in the rheumatic fever, you will see the ring shape rash, non-pyrrhatic rash on the trunk and the proximal limbs. So these are the different features of the rash in the scarlet fever and the rheumatic fever. So whether joints, heart, and brain will be involved in this scarlet fever? So answer will be the no. There will be no involvement of the joint, heart, and the brain in the scarlet fever. But in rheumatic fever, you will see these involvement. Like if the joints are involved, then you will see the migratory polyarthritis, means the pain move from one joint to another, and multiple joints will be involved in it, and mainly large joints, and this will be the painful, but there will be the no destructive effects on the joints. You can see the sedinum chorea. This will be the involuntary movements and the jerky movements of the hands and feet. That will be the involvement of the brain. And carditis heart, you will see mostly you will see mitral valve involved in that case. So these are the different manifestations related to the joints and heart and the brain that will be seen in the rheumatic fever. Diagnosis, you will diagnose with the clinical manifestation, and you can also go towards the rapid strep test and throat culture. And in the culture, you will see the strep pyogenes. And in that case, you will diagnose with the Jones criteria. Patient will present with these manifestations, and you can also go towards the ASO anti-streptolysin O titer. These are the antibodies you will detect in the test, and anti-DNase B. So these are the different tests for the rheumatic fever. Treatment will be the best treatment for the penicillin and amoxicillin, and you will also give the supportive therapy according to the like for the fever you will see the acetaminophen, and for the throat infection and rash you can also go towards the penicillin to reduce the infection. So you can also go towards the antibiotics given after the culture. So these antibiotics can vary, but the first choice will be the penicillin in the scarlet fever. And in that case, rheumatic fever, you will also see the penicillin and NSAIDs to reduce the inflammatory effects in that case. So non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs will begin in that, and along with that, you will give the supportive therapy according to the manifestation, how patient present in these conditions. And complication after the scarlet fever will be the otitis media, middle ear infections, sinusitis, and the abscess. So these are the different complications that you can see after the scarlet fever. And in that case, you will in the rheumatic heart disease, chronic valvular damage will be seen, valve damage will be seen, and in severe cases, you can also see the heart failure in that case. And final prevention, how you can prevent patient from the scarlet fever. So preventive measure will be the early treatment of this strep infection is the prevention from the scarlet fever. And in that case, you can also see the early treatment, and along with that, you will also give the prophylaxis in case of rheumatic fever. So this is the basic difference between the scarlet fever and the rheumatic fever, and what will be the different manifestation and how we can manage uh, uh, or differentiate scarlet from the rheumatic fever. If you still have any question, you may ask in the comment section. Thank you so much.